Assalamu alaikum. This is the Advanced Comparative Constitutional Advocate Gulrez King, and today is the 28th of the July, year 2024, Sunday. So, basically, I was considering, as per my daily routines, I was considering that what are the elements leading the females and the males and the other reciprocating human beings in Pakistan, that why the humans are not in accurate wisdom, and what are the medical jurisprudence issues in the modern age. The medical jurisprudence issues as per the medical age. Now we have to consider that in Pakistan, a lot of the million of individuals are suffering from vulnerable groups of the diseases. And when we just observe the vulnerable groups of the diseases in Pakistan, the prime disease is called hepatitis A, B, C. And with that elements, the secondary disease could be considered as the sugar along with the high blood pressure. And when I was basically researching under the Research Analyst Report Act 2011, that in Pakistan it is prevailing fact of law, humans are suffering from vulnerable diseases, and such prescribed vulnerable diseases are not integrated in humans automatically because of their lack of knowledge, wisdom, and intellectual medical observations. And after consummating a lot of the children, humans become reluctant for their own self-reconciled ways of understanding their physical needs. And thereafter, when I have researched medically, while I was legally observing the medical jurisprudence sciences uh, in Pakistan, and especially in the major parts of cities of the Pakistan, the humans are not in the position as to understand that they are suffering from a lot of the vulnerable diseases. And when they just transact during the daytime or in the night time, as to evaluate that from which sorts of the elements they are suffering in the Pakistan, usually the Pakistani do not carry forward such thoughts, and they become victim of the social, physical, incapacitated, vulnerable diseases, inherited one. And in this depictions of the facts, I have studied that during the medical jurisprudence, a lot of the females become victimizations of the marital declined physical declined physical remand, marital observations. So this is a remand in which a female inherits a trillion of or million of inherited criminal negative physical incapacitated tissues. And during a marriage, now we have to understand the definition of the marriage. While I was considering legally the definition of the marriage, I was confused that in Muslim personal law it is stated that the marriage is a social contract, and one should be deliberately it is for the procreation of the legitimate children. Before the observation of that, the public of the world do not commensurate the marriage. They usually just do the sexual intercourses and have the illegitimate children. That's why the Muslim jurists have defined the definition of the marriage in order to stop the offenses of the zina. And in Pakistan, it is a prohibited offensive attitude of the public that the individuals, they do not have the sufficient sources, and a lot of the human beings carry forward their tissue failures during the commensurate of the marriage. And after the performance of the marriage, they inherit the inherited uh, issues which they have brought forward becomes in the hospitals, and such human beings do not want to testify their tissues. And this would be amounted as the Transportation of the Tissues Act 2010, or the Transportation of the Tissue Organs of the Humans Act 2010. In Pakistan, it is a prevailing fact that the humans do not know that during the transactions of the marriage means the procreation of the legitimate children under the title document of the Islamic Shariat, prescribed by the Union Council of the said individuals residing in the said territory. Yes, for the time being in return of the dower amount. But we do not know the value of the prompt dower, the deferred dower, and meanwhile we just carry forward the valuation of the prompt dower. We consider the prompt dower, and this is the main failure during the execution of a marriage. The females, 75% of the females in Pakistan carry forward inherited mistakes or inherited problems into their organs, and when they just perform sexual intercourses with another man of their choice, especially in their blood relations, such females uh, become victimizations of the organ failures because of lack of understanding of the management of the tissues as to performance of the perfect solemnization of the factors of the marital ceremonials in the territories of the Pakistan. It is being considered that in Pakistan the humans carry forward the marriage ceremonials as per their needs. They just consider it's a physical need, and that's become a physical demand under the Custodial Act as well. They just consider that after consummating a marriage, they will have a children, but they do not know that after breaking down into their internal organs, if they do not have the perfect sorts of the internal organs, thereby they will have a lot of the insufficient capabilities into their organs, and after producing children they will become weak and infirm, sick, and will have to face the mental, physical, a lot of the brutal tissues failures in Pakistan or in the hospitals. But alas, we are not in the position as to understand these factual, scientifically or medically observations of the Muslims in Pakistan. When any person who just produce children, he always or she always subject with the uncertain or certain types of the issues, and then usually the humans do not test his organs before the marriage, and after performing the marriage it becomes forward to the other individual or the couple that they are suffering from the vulnerable diseases, and all the expenses would be shuffled down to the other persons. This is a problem major cities in the Pakistan. During the organic disorder in the human beings after production of the children, they do not know their own physical need, and they become targeted with a physical demand of their children from the everyday trial in their family, and after that they become sick, infirm, and they do not know the valuation of the time in the accurate control of wisdom, and they do not have the sufficient sources as to perform the valuable consideration regarding the medical, physical capacitated thoughts. And after that, what becomes as public subjection under the hospital's general one, that their organs fails, their kidneys do not work, their stomach disorder, their lungs penetrations with the air dysfunctional groups, and in the Lahore and the other Karachi and the other reciprocating cities, the air is populated and they do not have the population. And if a female who is subjected with the pregnancy factors and she is not having the organic air into her lungs, she will produce automatically a vulnerable children inheritedly. And we always claim that it is by God. That act we just commented, this is the act of God. Because of lack of our intellectual thoughts regarding the medical science, we just comment it over the Allah Almighty, which is a sin. We must recognize this sin, but we do not carry forward such thought as to recognize our failures in the medical sciences. This is the basic element which leads us into the troublesome situations, into the hospitals and into the certain clinics, and we are not in the observations. Around about half of the population of the Pakistan is suffering from psychiatric disorder because of their economical disorder. These two disorders will always penetrate with the physical demand to the females and males in the public sector. So stay blessed. the advanced comparative constitutional advocate would rescue.